So no poor is left because
everyone will provide with the oxygen cylinder, but no one is going to tell you how to use it. Then you'll have the opponents like the sharks and all, but you have to fight them alone. No one is going to come to you, you have to fight like this. But once you reach the bank, you will find that your journey was more better than your destination. Today being a lawyer and sharing my experiences with you, I'll be morely dedicating myself most of the time to a lawyer tactics. So the first thing, what does a lawyer do? A lawyer is a person who has to change his, what you call it as actorness, anything, for 5-10 minutes.
Hear the common language and he wake me up. See, I have the stitches on my head. There a lawyer is a listener. He has to listen what happened. Then, if you put only these 4 sentences in front of the judge is not going to entertain him. So what the lawyer will do is, he'll put some extra masala, spices in that. He'll start with telling the story. You know what? Rocky and my client had a fight over a land dispute. Then once what happened is, the neighbor came and asked for giving a share of land to him. Then my client just reviewed realization. You have some courses like you have we have this elementary and art exam or elementary intermediate exam for art. So these are the courses you do after you are doing good in art. So if you want to go for a labor law, there is no specified course for that. You have labor law in your law course, that is a 3 years course. After you are done with it, you can just read the book. That's what I'm telling you. Just inculcate the habit of reading. If you read it, you will find the law. There's no if you have to become a doctor, you have to go for science. If you have to go for some art field, you have to ask for a small law. Just get the degree, and if you want to do a labor practice or medical legal practice even, if you want to fight for doctors, medical negligence, you have no specified course. Just get the knowledge of that course, just read what the labor laws are. Like the labor laws, you have to have a course of employment, there's a book for that. You don't need a course. Like I was going to ask you, what have you done to become a labor lawyer? There's no specified course for that. LLB is compulsory. And you don't need to have any separate program for doing criminal law civil. Basically, there are civil and criminal lawyers. Civil includes land disputes. Criminal includes murders, cheating, theft, robbery. The other part today, the most demanded lawyers today are matrimonial lawyers for divorce cases. But you don't need to have any specialization for that. You just do plain LLB and you can take any kind of matter. There is no bar over it. So there is no different course for anything. You can go in any field as per your choice. Just do the LLB and you are free to do anything. And as I said, once you give the AIB exam, you get a license or a certificate of practice. So one who practices in open court, the lawyer who you see in the band, if you have seen a band, the neck of the collar band and neck of the advocate, that's only when you have the law advocate thing. That is certificate of practice. Like you have the law doctor's license to open dispensary, this is the same thing. Once you get the AIB clear, you can be an advocate. So there's only difference between just the sanad, which you call a bar council identity card, a license to practice as an advocate, and a person with a degree is a lawyer. Okay, so there was an old woman, and she had given 20,000 rupees to what you call Sarkar, which was there in the olden days. So she had given her 20,000 rupees, and the Sarkar was saying, no, you didn't give me, because there were no stamp papers at that time, right, and keep some photos of it. So she said, no, it was my whole lifetime money, you have to give me back. Sarkar was like, no. As he was having money, he approached a good lawyer, he got the keys. When both of them were heading out of the court, the lawyer the Sarkar just lost his life in a car accident. So there was no justice after the court justice too. And even the lawyers believe that. We know when we are considering the look of the client, because when the client comes to you, he is like, sir, मेरे ऊपर ना complaint हुआ है. Complaint क्यों हुआ है? मैंने कुछ नहीं किया था. When you hear that कुछ नहीं किया, there is damn thing that he has done something. Many of the clients just come to you, the client has filed a false case against me. Okay, then why were you seeing the CCTV camera? No, I just went to see whether it's true or false. So you can't The other part is lawyers in 90s are different from lawyers in 20 because the lawyers in 90s had their thing like this is a lawyer and when the clients could fear them. Lawyers साहब आ रहे हैं, हम लोग डरते हैं उससे नहीं, कुछ पूछना नहीं चाहिए. But the lawyers in these days they have to answer many questions. You all must be knowing Vikram and Betar, right? The stories of it. So Betar is always on the back of the Vikram. Every time when you see, this is the way client comes to your office with the Google AI on his back. If you tell him that this code doesn't allow this, the case laws of Gemini AI says this. Are you going to submit your case before the court? No, but I was just helping you out. So when he's having half of the knowledge, but he eat your head like Google ऐसे कह रहा है, Google Gemini ऐसे कह रहा है. You know what's the difference between the answers which we used to get from our teachers and from AI? The first thing is the emotional connect. The name itself suggests artificial intelligence, right? If you ask the Google, how can you become a lawyer? It will just give you a list. Do this degree, do that degree. These are the list of the good universities, colleges. You can become a good lawyer. But the emotional connect, no. The first thing we have millennial kids, but today you have the Gen Z generation, the good generation of today. They know everything, right? More than the books because of Google. If there was, just imagine a day without the Google. Would you get the answers? No. So the first thing, I go to many places to give motivation, but one of the parents just asked me, I am 12th pass, my daughter is a degree holder in chemistry. So I was like, okay, what happened then? She's like, when she comes home and I ask her, what will you do next? How is your study going? She's like, आपको क्या समझता है? आप तो 12th तक की पढ़े हो. आपको क्या लगता है? आपको सपने आते हैं? हमारे पास गूगल है, AI है, हम लोग हमारा देख लेते. Same thing happened in English is more than movies. I'm actually connected to movies because I know people in these days are more connected to reels than real life. So there are movies on your mobile and you just scroll on fast, right? So that lady, she just had tears in her eyes. मेरे बेटे को मुझे ऐसा कहा. I'm 45 years old. My daughter is just 20 and she's telling me आपको क्या ही आता है? आपने क्या ही दुनिया देखी है? मैंने तो पूरा दुनिया देख लिया है. गूगल को सब कुछ दिखाता है. But you know what? Google doesn't experience which your parents have. For that, I'll go a bit away from this topic. So there was a marriage in a village, and the condition of the bridegroom's father was that you're not supposed to get any senior citizens in the marriage. That was the only condition. So the boy whose marriage was to be done, he went to the marriage hall. But there was one senior citizen who just said, I want to come to the marriage. Whatsoever happens, I will come to the marriage. They just tied their senior citizens in a round or in a sack and they took him to the marriage. The next condition which came from the girl's side was, there was a river in the village. Okay? And so the girl's father just demanded, in that river, there should be no water but milk should flow in that river. So everyone was panicking, what should we do? It's impossible. So what happened was, the person who was in the sack, he just popped out and was like, it's so easy. Just do one thing, tell the boy's father, first empty the river, then we'll make the milk flow. When this message went back to the girl's father, he told there must be some senior citizens in the boy's side because no of the junior or a person who is 20-25 years old will know this. This is the experience. So I'm requesting all of you, no matter what your mother, your father, your relatives, I know, don't forcibly say yes to their decision, but respect their decision. Because the day you're standing there, when you have an ability to take your own decision, all comes from your parents. Their tremendous amount of hard work, their fees they have paid for yourself to make you so able to take that decision. So this is the thing which you should have. The last part which I would like to tell you about my school, because I've already done this in the previous seminar, but I would say just one word. You have heard the word supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? This is the single longest word which actually defines extraordinary efforts what a person takes for you. So this is our school, our artist school. So I'm damn sure the three qualities like reading, having interest, curiosity, and the fourth one is patience are very new all because you're students of practice school like I am, right? So I think I'm done well before the time. I'm not stretching my lecture. So the last part is question and answers.
When you have got a client who is very poor, a person or family who is very poor and don't have money to afford a good lawyer, and who is trapped in a very serious situation and who is an accused. And on the other hand, you have a very big businessman or politician who has very good money to pay you. In such situation, who do you stand for?
Okay. Can you please share the different kinds of law fields that a student can approach, like this criminal?
Okay. So you need to know the time.
Good morning, ma'am. For example, you have got a case in which you know that your client is wrong in the case. So still you have to stand for him and fight for him.
That's my profession.
The first thing is
thank you for answering that patiently. And thank you for sharing your experience and practical advice with us. I'm sure whenever you will be going for your speech as a motivational speaker, you have that skill of the audience would stick to their chairs and the way so for humorously you speak to the audience. I hope everyone loved the same. Right? Are you there with me? Everyone? Thank you for basically connecting the thoughts and the etiquettes and rules what we ask the students to follow in the school, how all these rules and discipline is connected to the professional life. So I'm really grateful for that, for sharing the same. Also, love the way, the humorous way you were talking about the cases and all. And today, I'm sure all of us, we got to know different side of the coin. What we see in the movies, that is just the liberty, like cinematic liberty, except Tariq pe Tariq. So thank you for sharing this. Thank you for giving us time out of your busy schedule. Thank you, and on behalf of the school, I